No, he's not. And another team that is voluntarily sitting down this year, fittingly, is defending champion Los Angeles Rams. They are now 3-7 to start this year. And I told you guys a few weeks ago, how much is a Super Bowl really worth? Because we say a Super Bowl victory and a championship in any sport buys a team 5 seasons. But when you look at how much the Los Angeles Rams invested into the current team and how poorly they have played this year, you can very easily see straight to the lack of substance on this team. They've missed in the draft. Around the edges, they've struggled to build depth and balance. The team has relied solely on stars, and now we're seeing in the NFL, it's not great teams. It's not great quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Or sorry, let me repeat that. It's not great quarterbacks. It's not stars that win Super Bowls. It is great teams. The great quarterbacks will propel you to the highest levels. And after this loss versus the Saints, man, I understand no Cooper Kupp, but we can see straight through the Rams' issues. Shout out, I guess, to Tutu Atwell, 100 or 62-yard touchdown. Allen Robinson had a cameo. But when you look at the Rams currently, over the next 3 years, all these Sean McVay retiring rumors are going to pop up. Matthew Stafford has a concussion now. And ultimately, this is one of the worst teams in football. I'm going to hit it to you guys. BCAP. The Rams season, we know it's over. But what is the state of this franchise moving forward? And for a Ram fan, is the future now dim because of that one Super Bowl victory?
No, I don't think so. Obviously they're having a really down season. But I think going into the offseason, I think the problems are pretty apparent. I think we can all really like point to the problems. Obviously, I think for me personally, I think it all starts with the offensive line. I think that is the major, major problem. If the offensive line is just decent, like middle of the pack, I think this team is much better than they are now. And that's because the offense is able to sustain drives. They're not getting backed up all the time because of taking sacks. Matt Stafford's not rushed every freaking play. Uh, and then the defense is able to get some rest on the sideline because they're not going three and out, three and out, three and out, three and out, and the defense is having to come back out. So I think it starts with the O line. Uh, Here's a big question though: Is Aaron Donald gonna? I mean, talk about big. Is he gonna walk away? Because he was literally, basically, openly said, "I was gonna walk away. I was done," basically, and he came back. Is he done, or is he gonna come back? That's a major, major question for the Los Angeles Rams. I think losing him. I know this is gonna sound blasphemy, but I don't think it's the end of the world because I think he's got such a massive contract. I don't know how it really works out. I don't know if they'll probably pay it over time, maybe. Um, but that can kind of open up at least a little bit of the salary cap for them, a little leeway.
You know, oh, John, go for it.
So I'm going to look this up real quick. The Aaron Donald contract specifics. Can you guys name the last Rams first round pick?
How long ago?
Is it Aaron Donald?
Was it Todd Gurley?
Close. Closer.
Is he still on the team?
Oh.
No.
Trey Mason.
Is he still in the league?
Of course.
Okay. Is it a defensive player or offensive?
Offense.
Offense.
Easy. Come
Who the
on.
hell is it?
Cooper Kupp?
Oh, no. He was far.
No, he's not on the team
Oh,
anymore. He's not on the team anymore.
2016 drafts.
Oh, okay.
This was a pretty
It's
important
not, it's
pick.
not a running. It's
I
not a
missed
running.
trivia.
Is it an O line? It's an O lineman.
This was kind of the number overall pick that played quarterback.
Jared Goff?
Oh, Jared Goff. Oh, wow. We
They
forgot
trade up
all
to
about
get him.
Mr. Goff.
So Aaron Donald's contract has an out after 2024. And in theory, you can kind of spread out over time. I
Yeah.
think for the Rams, the good thing is that they're only missing their first round pick in 2023. So they're not going to have it this year. So that's a 7 straight year, 2016 or 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23. 7 straight years, no firsts. But from that point on, they will have the majority of their cap or the majority of their draft picks. I look at this organization, and if McVay retires, they're going to go right back to the place they were in St. Louis. And with Matthew Stafford, this feels like Detroit 2.0. You're reliant on one player offensively, Calvin Johnson, The defense have a superstar. You're getting Dominican Sue and some very other good players, Darius Slay. And we saw with that Lions defense when they won 11 games in 2015, 2016, you had a very good team in the making, but the consistency of it year in and year out is nowhere near as appetizing as you will like. I feel like for the Rams, this is kind of just the start. The franchise can't really draft too well. And most of all, when these stars start to age, we're going to see it's probably going to be one of the 3 or 4 worst teams in the NFC at the very least, and probably a bottom dweller right with Arizona in the NFC West.
You know, the Rams remind me. I know Brandon's a big superhero buff and Marvel buff. I don't know about you, John, but I certainly hope you saw the movie. But they remind me of Thanos when I don't know which one it was, whether it be Endgame or whatever. But he gets asked by his daughter Gamora, "What did it cost?" And he says, "Everything, everything." So I feel like that's exactly what the Rams did. They sold out. They collected the Infinity Stones. They snapped the finger. They got their Super Bowl. And now at what cost? Because here you are with the potential of the report said that Sean McVay is tied to this core. And once this core is gone, so is he potentially. You know, that guy's going to make probably more money on TV than he does as a head coach if he retires. So he'll be happy.
Well, there was a report out a couple weeks ago that his tenure is linked to the core basically of the Rams,
Yeah.
which is Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cup, and Jalen Ramsey. So if Aaron Donald goes, I think Sean McVay is still going to stay there. Obviously, so I think their main move is, I think they're going to probably go offensive line heavy in the draft. Maybe sign a veteran left tackle because that's kind of like one of their main sticking points. I mean, you saw how it changed, like with Andrew Whitworth, when you have that mainstay left tackle, and people forget how important the left tackle is. I believe it's still the second highest paid position in the entire league, made famous by Mr. Lawrence Taylor. So yeah, I think the offensive line is going to get a major overhaul this offseason. Prayers up to Cooper Kupp. I think he'll be able to bounce back and be ready by next season. Stafford, I think, like I said, when the offensive line gets figured out, I think he's going to be able to get back to his elite status. The run game is going to be looked at. The receiving core to me is fine. I don't know what they do with Allen Robinson. That's a good question. Do they get rid of him? Is that ship sailed basically? I don't know what you can really get for him on the trade market, to be honest with you, especially, nothing? Yeah, nothing. Especially with that contract, I think he's making $15 million. So they've got some work to do. But I think I have the belief in Sean McVay. I have a belief in these stars on this team, and I think that they can get it figured out by next season.
So they have $6 million in cap for 2023. It's not a whole lot of wiggle room, especially to sign a veteran left tackle. But there are some players they can cut ties with. Not Kupp, not Stafford. Those 2 guys are here to stay. But they can save a lot of money. Aaron Donald, $30 million in cap savings if he were to be cut. But they're not cutting Aaron Donald. If he were to retire, it's potential, who knows, that could support them in terms of, spraying out that money. But Aaron Donald is still top 5, top 3 defender in football. So it is a little bit tougher to say. If you lose him, you can spend the money elsewhere. Because no, that guy is still elite at what he does, and he deserves the respect.